Welcome back to another edition of the High Five. I hope everyone is having a great week. I, as always, am your host, the one, the only, the second Irish Bandit. This time around on the High Five, yes, we're getting one. You're getting another one a week after the last one because I got to get these out in quick order because season 3 of Riverdale is starting up next week. By the time the next video hits next week, the season premiere of The Walking Dead will have already happened. But that's okay because everything I'm going to be talking about next week will be, I hope, happen later on in the season. But let's talk about this week's episode. And this week's episode, we're talking about the show that really, really struck a chord with me when it debuted 2 seasons ago, that being Riverdale. Absolutely love the show. Loved season 1, loved season 2. After seeing some of the previews for season 3, I don't know how to feel about that, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Riverdale, the third season premiere starts next week on CW on Wednesday, and then Thursday, Canada and everywhere else in the world gets it on Netflix. So let's talk about 5 theories that I have about Riverdale season 3. Starting off with, why did Hiram frame Archie for a murder? So I think it's pretty safe to say that when Archie told Hiram at the end of season 2 that he was going to make his bones by taking out Hiram, that scared Hiram. If it didn't scare him, it at least threatened him, which is why I feel or probably the vast majority of Riverdale fans feel that that is why Hiram framed Archie for a murder that his bodyguard Andre committed. When they said, Archie Andrews, you're under arrest for the murder of so and so. I can't remember his name. I didn't even know who the hell they were talking about. I had to do some thinking back, and it's, oh, that hillbilly guy that kicked in the door of the lodge's cabin and threatened Archie and Veronica. That guy, he deserved to die, honestly. That's neither here nor there. Archie's innocent of that one. And did you see in the previews the serpent tattoo Archie has now? Does that grant him protection in jail from anybody if they see the serpent tattoo? They know not to touch him, or is he actually a serpent now? So many questions, and I'm like, oh, okay, what the hell's gonna happen now? And then they had that whole, well, I'll get into this a little bit later. They have that whole cult aspect of it going on. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but this is really starting to weird me out. I don't like where this is going, honestly. But I guess we'll see what happens, how they bring it about, and yeah, I'm probably not the only one who has that opinion that Hiram is threatened by Archie, which is why he framed him for the murder of the guy who tried to hurt Veronica. So, but yeah, I think it'll come out that Archie had nothing to do with it, and Veronica's going to do all she can to get her Archiekins out of jail. So, can't wait to see what happens there. Next up, second theory I have about Riverdale season 3 deals with Betty, her darkness, and being Serpent Queen. So for the past 2 seasons, we've noticed a darkness within Betty that is hard to deny. Like, you take a look at the first season when she came out with the black wig and the black bustier and, you know, putting her foot down on Chuck's head and almost drowning him and pouring maple syrup on him, which was some sort of weird Riverdale thing. I don't know. But the darkness is a lot more prevalent, and we found out why in season 2. So, with that being said, will we see more of the Dark Betty, and will it get exacerbated by the fact that Jughead wants to be her to be his Serpent Queen? How will this play out for Betty, especially with everything going on with her family right now, with her mom and Polly and the twins? It is going to be very, very weird and very, very different this season. Speaking of weird and different, hey, who else is looking forward to Chilling Adventures of Sabrina? I am, but we're not talking about that. Well, maybe we'll talk about that another time. With Betty being the Serpent Queen, how is that going to change her? Is the darkness going to become lessened, or will it become worse? These are all questions that I've had going into season 3, like since the end of season 2. when she confronted her father in prison. Uh, when Jughead asked her, "Do you want to be my queen?" Did that mean that he proposed to her, or what? Like, aren't they kind of young to be getting married? But I'm an old fogey. I'm 39 years old, and I'm an old fogey. Well, you shouldn't, you shouldn't get married so close in high school. But whatever. So, what will this do for Betty in the long run? Will she become darker? Will this tame that darkness inside of her? I guess we'll just have to see what happens from here. My third theory going into the third season of Riverdale is all about Cheryl and will she usurp Betty for power of the serpents. So over 2 seasons, we've seen a love-hate relationship between Betty and Cheryl. Like now we know that the Blossoms and the Coopers are related by blood. But relationships don't mean a lot to Cheryl. Well, unless it's like with her and Tony. But familial relationships don't mean much to Cheryl because look what she's doing with her mother right now. She's totally distanced her mother. The only Blossom family member she can trust is her Nana Rose. Her father was, we know how that turned out. Her sinister uncle, who convinced her mother to send her to that conversion camp, church, whatever it was. So we know that family bonds don't mean a lot to Cheryl. And when she gets a whiff of power, she runs with it. She tries to do what she can to grab it, hold it, and never let it go. Which is why I think she is going to do something to try to usurp Betty as Serpent Queen and just kind of take over the whole shooting match. I wouldn't put it past Cheryl. If she doesn't, great. Her and Betty get along and, she serves as her... I don't know what she'd serve as under Betty, but I think Cheryl is that power hungry that she will try to do what she can to take that power from Betty and use it for her own nefarious means. I like Cheryl, but I don't trust her. I don't. 2 seasons worth of Riverdale told me don't trust Cheryl. You don't know what she's going to do. She's capable of anything. And I still have to say my favorite Cheryl line is, "Shoo, bitches." I love that line. That is one of the greatest lines ever. Cheryl had some fantastic one-liners throughout the series so far. Like, she said something to Jughead along the lines of, "It was a joke, hobo." She has no filter. She'll just say whatever, damn the consequences, which is one of the reasons why I like Cheryl. But like I said, I don't trust her, and she's going to do something to try to take over that role of Serpent Queen from Betty. So I hope I'm wrong, but we'll have to wait and see. The next theory I have, again, having to do, well, not so much with Betty, but with the Coopers. Actually, these last two have to do with the Coopers, but let's get this one out of the way first. Who the hell was Polly talking about? So if you haven't seen the trailers by now for the third season of Riverdale, you really should. But if you have, you've noticed that they're doing a more cult-like aspect in this season, which I'm not digging. Like, to be honest and truthful with you, I'm not digging that too much. Everything else is fine, everything going on with Archie and Jughead and Veronica, all that's fine. But the cult aspect going on, I'm not too keen on that. So this leads me to think that Polly somehow along the lines was indoctrinated into a cult, if that's not a word. Polly joined a cult, and she's taking her mother and her children to meet this cult leader. I don't know who. A friend of mine said that they think they know who it is. It's probably Chick, but I don't think so. I think Hal might have taken care of Chick at the end of the second season when Betty let him go and the Black Hood ran after him. So I think Chick got what he deserved. So I really can't say who I think this cult leader might be. And Again, there's not enough time in between the two to say, oh yeah, Chick's the cult leader. No, I don't think that. But we'll find out. Like I said, I'm not digging the whole cult aspect. That might turn me off of the show, but I guess we'll see how they do it. Like, I mean, for something like Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, that could work. And I could, everyone was saying, "Oh, Sabrina needs to be in season 2 of Riverdale, season 3 of Riverdale," and like, well, no, witchcraft stuff like that wouldn't work in a setting like Riverdale. Give Sabrina her own show and then run with it, maybe. And yeah, we're gonna see what that's like come October 26th on Netflix. I'll maybe talk about that later on. We'll see, but yeah, hard to say who this leader of this cult is, but we'll see. And maybe it is Chick. I don't know. Maybe it's somebody new. Maybe it's Mr. Svensson's brother. I don't know. Twin brother. I wouldn't put past anything here with Riverdale. They've surprised us before, and they'll surprise us again, I'm sure of it. And the final theory I have about Riverdale Season 3 is, will we see Hal again? So if you don't know by now, spoiler warning, but Hal Cooper was the Black Hood the whole time. He was arrested. Betty was able to figure out who he was. And last we saw him, he was in prison talking with Betty. So does this mean we've seen the end of Hal? I don't think so. I think we're going to see him again in some form. He may not come back out of prison because, he killed Miss Grundy. So he shouldn't get away with that. And he killed Midge as well, I do believe. Yeah, he did, because I wasn't too sure when they did the musical episode was so bad. I love Riverdale, but that episode was so bad. It was so bad. Like, I just watched the Once Upon a Time musical episode, and that one was so much better, but we're not talking about Once Upon a Time here. Rest in peace, Once Upon a Time, but... But at the end of that, you saw Midge's body all strung up and stuff. So, like I said, have we seen the last of Hal? I don't think so. He's going to pop up again somewhere along the line. I don't know how. He could be like a Hannibal Lecter type, and Betty just goes to him for advice or something or other. Or he just, somebody goes to see him and asks him about why he did it. So, yeah, no, we're definitely going to see Hal Cooper again. I almost guarantee it. But, then again, I said that for season 2. Yeah, we're going to see Miss Grundy again. We saw her, and then she died. I like Hal Cooper. I like the character. I like the actor who plays him, Lachlan Monroe. He's a great actor. I've been following his career for quite a while now, so... I remember him from Freddy vs. Jason as Officer Stubbs. He was great, man. Just fantastic. And he's Canadian too, so that's, actually I think they have a lot of Canadian actors on the show, but they film in Vancouver, so yeah, Hal Cooper is definitely coming back in some form or another. Maybe he will die like Miss Grundy did, I don't know, but those are my theories about season 3 of Riverdale. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, and remember, Riverdale returns October 11th on Netflix and October 10th on CW in the States. So give this video a big thumbs up, share anywhere you can. In the description below, you're going to see a link to my Redbubble store where you can pick up all your Irish Bandit merchandise, including t-shirts, tank tops, lady racerbacks, leggings, stickers like these, cases for iPhone, Android, and iPod. And you can also pick up travel mugs, coffee mugs, whatever your heart's desire. If I already didn't say it, share this video anywhere you can. I think I might have, but oh well. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, tap the bell, be notified. Make sure it says all so you know whenever I upload anything new or go live. I will be back with another high five next week, talking about 5 things I want to see in season 9 of The Walking Dead. When that video airs, the season premiere will already happen. So there's not going to be any spoilers, because one episode in, you're not going to get a whole lot of the stuff that I talk about. So, but we'll get to that next week. And then in 2 weeks, I will be back. High Five will be back to its normal bi-weekly schedule. But the week after next, in 2 weeks, I should say, I'm going to have a brand new taste test for you. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, things will get back to normal after next week. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you again very soon.